What's up guys, Game Fifi and World Games, and I'm back with another Drama Scripted Saturday. And if you're new to this channel, this is a show I do every Saturday that goes over wrestling news, whether it be WWE, TNA, or anything in the indies. But on this week's episode of Drama Scripted Saturday, I'm going to go over the draft picks, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the biggest draft picks. But let me go over the televisioned 6 rounds that happened on Smackdown. The Smackdown for live, the pace moves extremely better than the drag out 3-hour Raw. Hopefully they'll wake up and put Raw back down to 2 hours. But let's start with round 1. Seth Rollins, no doubt about it, got picked number 1. He's going to Raw. Dean Ambrose, the WWE champion, is going to SmackDown. Charlotte, the women's title, is going to Raw. AJ Styles is on SmackDown. Finn Balor is on Raw. They really should have kept, the 6 NXT people from getting drafted. They should have kept that a secret, but it was still a big pick. But Finn Balor is going to Raw. Roman Reigns on Raw. No surprise. John Cena on SmackDown. It would be show suicide to have both of these people on the same show. But John Cena is back on SmackDown for the first time in 10 years. John Cena on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar got drafted. He got drafted to Raw, which is interesting. But obviously his appearances will only be for the flagship show anyway, because his contract is based on appearances, not, he doesn't have a typical contract. Randy Orton SmackDown. All 3 members of the New Day is on Raw. Round number 3. Sami Zayn Raw, Bray Wyatt SmackDown, Sasha Banks Raw, Becky Lynch SmackDown, Chris Jericho Raw. So the Wyatts look like they are broken up because their leader is on SmackDown. Sasha Banks is on Raw. That's good. Sami Zayn's on Raw. Surprised Chris Jericho didn't get drafted to SmackDown, because before this point the theme here was all the new people go to Raw and all the old people go to SmackDown, but they keep Raw is Jericho on Raw. Rusev on Raw, Miz on SmackDown, so SmackDown has the IC title and Raw has the US title. Owens Raw, Ben Corbin SmackDown, which was interesting. Okay, new talent on SmackDown. Enzo and Cass stay together, they're both on Raw. Gallows and Anderson on Raw, so there's potential for the Balor Club now, because Finn Balor is an original member of the club. So let's see if they bring out the Balor Club, or brand it the Balor Club. American Alpha is on SmackDown, which is, I'm happy they got drafted. Big Show's on Raw, Dolph Ziggler's on SmackDown, so more Ben Corbin and Dolph Ziggler feuds. Nia Jax, the most surprising draft pick of the night to me, is on Raw. To me, that's insane, because she's nearly not ready for it yet, but now she's on Raw. Neville's back from injury, so he's on Raw. Natalia's on SmackDown. Cesaro's on Raw. Both Del Rio's back on SmackDown. Sheamus is on Raw, as Sheamus was the last televised pick. Now, live on the WWE Network, Golden Truth is on Raw. The Usos are on SmackDown. Titus O'Neil on Raw. Demon Kane is on SmackDown. Paige is on Raw. Darren Young is on Raw. Kalisto's on SmackDown. Sin Cara's on Raw. So they broke up Kalisto and Sin Cara. Naomi's on SmackDown. Jack Swagger's on Raw. Wow, didn't think he would make it to Raw. The extension's on SmackDown. Okay. The Dudley Boys on Raw. Zack Ryder's on SmackDown. Summer Rae's on Raw. Apollo Crews is on SmackDown. Mark Henry's on Raw. And Alexa Bliss is on SmackDown. She gets drafted from NXT. Braun Strowman's on Raw. Breeze Dango is on SmackDown. Bo Dallas is on Raw. Eve Marie is on SmackDown. The Shining Stars are on Raw. The Vaudevillains are on SmackDown. Alright, so that's the end of social media outcast. Alicia Fox is on Raw. Eric Rowan is on SmackDown. So at least Bray Wyatt has Eric Rowan. Dana Brooke is on Raw. Mojo Riley got drafted and he's on SmackDown. Mojo Riley is horrible. But him and Zach can still form the tag team because they're both on the same show. They're both on SmackDown. Curtis Axel's on Raw. And Carmella from NXT is on SmackDown. And the funny part of this draft at all is Heath Slater goes undrafted. I find that to be hilarious. Yeah. So to break up the Wyatts, I guess they want Braun Strowman to go solo. He's unless Luke Harper gets back from her injury. But yeah, they broke up the Wyatts, which is the only big breakup from this pay-per-view. I'm scrolling for a second. Nope, Donna Brooke is still on Raw, so they didn't even break up. They didn't even break up Charlotte or what you call it. They didn't break Charlotte or Dana Brooke up. They're both on the same show. No Bayley draft. Bayley did not get drafted. I'm surprised about that. People are speculating maybe she'll get drafted after the SummerSlam pay-per-view, because you know there's going to be Brooklyn NXT again, like there was yesterday. So people are speculating that she's going to get drafted or put on the show after SummerSlam. Hopefully so, because Alyssa Bliss and freaking Carmella got drafted, but not Bayley. Nia Jax, you could say, okay, because she's big and dominant in the ring, so, but the fact that Alyssa Bliss and Carmella got drafted over Bayley is just wild to me. This kind of basically evens out both shows. We'll be watching SmackDown in the future. Please let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the WWE draft. And for more Drama Scripted news, tune here every Saturday at 12 noon. And that's going to wrap this up for this week's Drama Scripted Saturday. And until next Saturday, guys, later and peace.